Day 2 of Liseberg. We're going to rank the coasters. What is the best one and what is definitely the worst one? Really great. This is definitely not the ride you want to rewrite the whole day. Best dive coaster I've done so far. Day 2 of Liseberg here. It's again a very sunny day and we're going to explore our favorite rides here in this park again, and we're going to actually rank the coasters because there are 7 roller coasters in this park, and what is the best one and what is definitely the worst one. Let's check it out now. But before ranking these coasters, I'm just gonna say yesterday I already did like the kiddie coasters like Stampbanan, Rabalder. I'm not going to ride those ones again because they're like little children coasters. I did them in my previous video. I can safely say Stampbanan is at the last place at this moment, and Rabalder is at the second last place. So as said, I'm not going to ride those in my ranking video, but you already know where I'm ranking this one. But there's 5 other coasters to go, which is Valkyria, Helix, Balder, Lisebergbanan and Luna. And where do these coasters rank? Let's see. Let's start with the first ride of the day. That's going to be the wooden coaster, the Intermission prefab wooden coaster, Balder. Let's check it out. And after 2 more rides here on Balder, one time in the front seat and one time in the, sorry for the noise, one time in the back seat, I can give you my clear opinion on this one. This is really really great Intermission prefab wooden coaster. It's such a good one. The trains are not the best maybe, but the ride is just very smooth, very comfortable. The airtime moments are really amazing. The layout is maybe a little bit much of the same, but it's just a really fun roller coaster. So at this moment, this roller coaster is really like the #1 coaster at this moment. Of course, because we only ranked 3 of these. So at the last spot at this moment, Stampbanan. Second to last spot, Rabalder, and of course on the first spot at this moment, Balder, the wooden coaster here. But we still have 4 roller coasters to go, so that might change. So let's see. So we did Valkyria again 2 times, one time in the back row, one time in the front row. It's really a great dive coaster. Like I said in my previous video already, this is like the best dive coaster I've done so far. It's really smooth. It really has some amazing elements, such as that inversion there, but also the 0G roll. There are some airtime moments. It's also a very whippy, very snappy B&M dive coaster compared to like, for example, the other ones I did. It's just a really great one. Also the theming of the station is pretty cool. I also like the color scheme of this one, but it doesn't really add a lot to the ride experience, of course. But anyway, just that first drop and then all the rest of the ride, really amazing. The only downside of this ride is the fact that it's just really short, and that's such pity actually. But look at that. Look at that thing. Amazing ride, amazing ride. Also nice to have like those vest restraints on this dive coaster, such as on Valraven. Sorry for noise. Such as on Valraven, because those vest restraints are so much more comfortable and so much more free than the bulky older B&M restraints. So plus for this thing. But now, how does this rank compared to all the other coasters we did so far? So we did Stampbanan, Rabalder. Yeah, okay, we did them yesterday, or I did them yesterday. Those are, yeah, clearly not better than this one. But Balder is on the first spot at this moment. Is this one better than Balder? Very, very difficult to say, because they're both kind of equally good, but in another way. But if I would have to choose, I would go for Balder at the #1 spot and this one on the 2nd spot at this moment, because Balder is just a lot longer, a lot more fun, in my opinion, with a lot more airtime moments. But this one, just the forces on this thing are really, really amazing too. So it's almost a tie, but if I would have to choose, I would put Balder on the first spot at this moment. But we still have Luna, Lisebergbanan, and of course Helix to go. So let's check those three out. Sorry for the noise. So let's check those three out also. And the next ride we're off to is Luna, the Vekoma family boomerang coaster from last year. It's situated in the Luna Park at the top of the hill here. It's intertwined with coasters such as Lisebergbanan here, or Helix, and of course also the Flume ride here are really cool. But anyway, let's ride Luna and see how it ranks compared to all the other ones. Okay, Luna also done. It's a very fun Vekoma family boomerang coaster. It has quite some force for a boomerang coaster, but it's nothing too thrilling, nothing too crazy. Although I really like this spike here. It's really like a really fun moment in the ride. But also like the small airtime hill which you have right after exiting the station is also really, really fun. So in my opinion, one of the better family boomerang coasters, but still it's not very, very thrilling, of course. So for thrill seekers, this is definitely not the ride you want to re-ride the whole day. But for families with kids, this is really like a great addition to the park. And it's also embedded really beautifully here on this hill here. You have the Luna Park here, and then you of course have this beautiful coaster here. Look at that. This beautiful coaster here, embedded nicely in the environment here. Really great. But anyway, how does it rank compared to all the other coasters so far? So in our ranking we have Stampbanan, we have Rabalder already, we have Balder already, and we have Valkyria. This one is clearly not as good as Balder and Valkyria, of course, but it's better than Stampbanan and Rabalder. So at this moment, on the 3rd place, and we have 2 more rides to go, which are Helix and Lisebergbanan. Now we're off to ride these 2 coasters, but I'm going to share the final ranking after doing those 2 coasters to keep you guys a little bit more on the edge of your seat. So off to Helix now, then off to Lisebergbanan, and then let's see how these 2 coasters rank in this park. So let's go. Okay, but before doing the last coaster of the day, Lisebergbanan, we're actually here in Rabbitland because we are doing a ride which is not a coaster, but we didn't do it yesterday yet, and we still have to do it, which is Underlandet, a dark ride here, all about rabbits, I think, because it's in Rabbitland here. Anyway, doesn't matter, we can't do a ride here in Rabbitland without these, of course. So anyway, we're going to do Underlandet here, a dark ride, and then we're off to the last coaster of the day, Lisebergbanan, and of course, obviously, at the end, a final ranking of all the coasters with Lisebergbanan and Helix included. Which will be the best coaster in the park? Let's see, but first do Underlandet. Alright, Underlandet, dark right there about the rabbits and such. Really pleasantly surprised by that one actually. It's of course it's very family, kids friendly, a dark ride, so nothing too crazy, but it's very well teamed, very well done. It's a very nice dark ride. I'm really surprised by that. I didn't expect it to be like this. I expected something like Deprez met Bomba or Bomba's Voyage, as you have in Plopsaland Pannen, which is also like a smaller dark ride focused on kids. This one, way better, way more beautifully themed, but also the ride system is really fun with the cars turning around facing you to the different scenes and such. Really well done. Plopsaland, this is what the Boomba ride should have been. It's so much better than what Plopsaland built with that awful ride system there. Anyway, let's get to the last coaster of the day, which is Lisebergbanan. Let's go there. We actually have to wait because our virtual queue is in like 15 minutes only, so we have to wait here at the entrance. But in the meantime, we're enjoying the view here because this park is really like such a beautiful park. The atmosphere is amazing. The theming of this area, as you can see here, the station and such is amazing. But also just the landscape, you know, this park is built with all the roller coasters intertwined, the things you can look at and such. Just look at this hill. You have Lisebergbanan, you have Helix, there you have Aerospin, there you have the Atmosphere Freefall Tower. It's just such a great skyline to look at. It's amazing, really. But anyway, we're going to wait for Lisebergbanan, then we're going to ride that one, and then afterwards let's do final ranking of what is the best coaster in Liseberg. Let's see. And with that, we did the last coaster here of Lisebergbanan. Bart, did we enjoy Lisebergbanan?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sure, indeed. It's a very fun Schwarzkopf coaster, very forceful at some point. It has quite some airtime at some moments. It's quite speedy, it's quite smooth actually in my opinion. It's really a fun ride. I prefer it more in the back compared to the front. But anyway, it's still a really, really enjoyable ride. But how does it rank to the other coasters we did so far? So at this moment, I think Lisebergbanan is underneath Valkyria, but right above Luna. But it's a lot more forceful than Luna, a lot more fast, a lot more thrilling than Luna, but not as powerful as Valkyria, for example, because Lisebergbanan is still like a family ride, of course. But I also told you I would give my opinion on Helix, because we already did that one too, and I think we can safely say that Helix is for sure the best ride here in the park. So it's at the #1 spot for sure. It's a really great Mac coaster. It has a very cool layout, very cool inversions, a lot of airtime moments, and it's also a very long ride. So each moment when you think, yeah, now it's going to be over, it's like it keeps going on and going on. It's a really great ride. The only downside is the fact that the trains are a little bit rattly, in my opinion. But if you want to avoid the rattle, front seats are actually the best seats when it comes to a rattle. Second downside is the fact that the launches are fun, but they're not very, very powerful. But still, they're quite fun. But it's like with a lot of Mac coasters, the launches are not really that amazing. But anyway, really the best ride in the park. So, final ranking: Helix at the #1 spot, second spot Balder, third spot Valkyria, fourth spot Lisebergbanan, fifth spot Luna, then Rabalder, and to end we have Stampbanan. So that's the ranking, final ranking for today. Now let me know in the comments if you agree with this ranking or not, and if you enjoyed watching this video, feel free to like this video somewhere here down there. I'm going to enjoy some more rides here on my favorite rides here at Liseberg, such as Helix here, but I'll see you again in the next video. See ya!